Okay, let me see if it.
Whenever I have a free time, I come here to help.
Oh, nice.
Go, we lifted 2 tires.
Okay.
And then balance the tires.
They're balanced and everything? All right.
Everything should be fine. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Crystal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Gail. How are you?
Doing fine.
Great. I'm going to make you the host. Give me 1 minute. Make host. Do you want? Yes, I want her to host.
I'm the host.
Gail, you should be the host now.
Yep, I see the notification.
Okay, excellent. Is there anything else you need from me?
I think that's it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Oh, nice.
Hey, Gail.
Hi, Bev.
I'm a little early, but I just wanted to be sure I was going to be able to log in okay.
Right. Not a problem. I'm going to test, since we've got this extra time, I'm going to test sharing my screen.
Okay. I meant to send an edited version of the little write-up that I started off with, but I didn't do that. Is that going to, to reflect the changes?
You're going to be speaking those.
Okay. Yeah. How often do you still get hand-drawn layouts?
Oh, it happens. It happens. Let's see. Okay, that's one. I don't want to stop. Yep, I'll just have to toggle back and forth.
Yeah, I got a meeting at 6:30.
We won't start. Well, we'll. Are you talking to me or somebody else?
To you, and I'm shutting my phone off because my alarm just went off to tell me I had a meeting at 6:30.
Okay. All right. So everything shows up, and you will be you'll be answering the questions and just presenting the information.
Yep. Yep.
So the way this is being recorded, just so you're aware.
I saw that.
And so just so you know, you can be on mute initially until the public hearing is right away in the in
Yep.
the agenda. So
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stay on. Any other, well, it would be interesting to stay on, I suppose.
it's always good to have residents of the district sit through meetings. Always helpful, because people get a chance to understand what goes on and ask questions. So it's always good.
It's been a while since I've done, probably pre-COVID, dear. Since I've been, attending any town hall meetings.
Well, we have the advantage of it being through Zoom as opposed to just a recorded meeting, or one that's both recorded, a Zoom and in person, is that everybody who's participating can be seen through their own screen.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's in person and Zooming, not all commissions provide that vantage point.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of cool to do that.
I think it's good. And then you really get to hear, you get to see and hear and the individuals who are talking, and it also provides a much better it's an audio for everybody involved.
Looking at notes from before. Stan came over and remeasured for me.
Okay. So we'll ask materials, we'll ask, dimensions, which the plan is it's nicely drawn, but the writing is a little faint. So
okay.
To make out on it doesn't come across as with the contrast as strongly as
yeah.
so
I thought about going over it with a marker, but I didn't. So
that's okay. We'll just, you can provide those details verbally.
I'm overdoing it in terms of the ramp length, but it'll be two things. I have a landing spot for it already, so I don't need pavers or anything at the bottom, and it won't be as steep an incline. So
yes. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it'll be easier for me to push.
Yeah, makes it easier all around.
He had a busy day today. He had
oh, remember, Bev, this is being recorded.
Oh, it is right now too. Okay. Yep. All right.
I have not the capability. I don't think I can stop it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll scratch out the personal stuff.
Yeah, it's the town recording.
Yep.
So, and it's what will be available on our website as a record of the meeting.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go on mute then.
Yep. And you can also, well, no, probably don't fiddle with your video until we get through the public hearing, so that for some reason it doesn't to avoid it acting up.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Stan.
Hi, Stan.
Hi, Bev.
So we're looking for Karen, Earl, and hopefully Pat tonight.
My friend Toby's gonna sit in and watch.
Good. Here he comes.
Hi, Toby. Toby, up in this corner is Gail Usher, the chairman of the commission.
Hi, Gail.
Bishop.
Hello, Toby. Nice of you to consider this, and welcome to just to viewing our our goings on.
Thank you. I will be an interested observer.
Good. Well, and we're also happy to answer questions that you might have when we get to the, there's an opportunity for public comment following our public hearing and as part of our regular agenda. So if you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to do it at that point.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Toby.
Hello, Bev.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hi, Earl.
Toby, my shoulders are a little sore.
Uh-oh.
Rolling and rolling and rolling.
Oh, you're just making me feel guilty for skipping out on work to go to the dentist.
No. Hi, Karen.
Hey, Stan, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Just a minute while I get everybody, since this is being recorded, I need to get everybody's names correct. Right. And Earl, are you ready for taking minutes? Wonder if he can see. let's see if we can get this.
Darn, 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 darn.
I'm just trying to figure out if Earl has sound.
Hey, Frank. Frank? Could you come in here a minute, please? Never mind. I'm all set.
Earl's done this enough times, he should know what's going on.
Yeah, there's something evidently he's having problems with his computer. Oh.
No, I'm all okay. I'm all set. All right.
Hello,
Oh, there you are.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, I'll just have to go by sound again. I don't understand what's going on with Zoom and me, but at least I can hear everybody, so that'll work.
All right, that's good. Yeah, there's no indication that you've got video.
No, I don't. I don't have, the screen won't come up. I tried to use that link that you gave me and that didn't work. So I typed it all in and here we are. So
There we go.
we'll
Well,
do the
at
best
least-
we can.
Yes, at least you've got audio
Yeah, that's the most important, actually.
and you can't see us.
No, I can't see anything.
Interesting.
Very bizarre.
You might have to reinstall Zoom,
Maybe I should try that. Yeah,
or maybe it's got updates that need to be installed.
I'll have to check and see. I'm so bad at computers, so.
It has come out. Zoom has done 1 or 2 updates in the past 2 months.
All right, well, maybe that's it then. I'll check Zoom and try and reinstall it.
Okay. But we're sorry not to see your smiley face.
I know, and I'm sorry to miss all of yours.
But we hear your lovely voice, though. So,
All right, then. I don't know about Pat. I have not heard from him, but we will call the meeting to order at 6:36. We don't need to appoint any alternates. And we're all regular members. So the
Who do
first.
we have? Who's here? Stan,
Oh,
Gail?
sorry about that.
Karen, and me?
Yes, Stan, Gail, Karen, and you.
Okay, good.
We also have Bev Brazil,
Okay.
she's a member of the public. Toby Bishop, that's Toby with a Y.
Is Brazil BRAZILE?
EAL.
EAL. Okay.
All right. And then Jean McClellan.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead in your stead to give the reading of the public hearing for 518 Route 169 for ramp.
Yep.
And so Bev, you are up. You want to unmute yourself.
Yep.
And describe your project. Do you want me to put any pictures yet or the drawing on the screen yet, or?
Sure. I don't care which one goes first. Whatever makes more sense to you. You want to do the photos first, and then the layout.
Why don't you explain first what you're going to do?
Okay. So Earl and I are in need of a ramp. He is currently in a walker. We'll postpone the need for a wheelchair as long as we can, but it's not in the too distant future. And I want to be prepared when that need comes up so that if it happens in December, that we have this in place and ready for him when that's needed. The alternative that we have right now on the side porch are very large old stone steps, which he's having a lot of difficulty with even now. So we'll probably use the ramp even when he's using the walker. The the plan that I submitted has the first portion of the ramp coming off of the side of our front porch. So that would be the south side.
Are you still there?
I am. I'm not
Okay.
seeing the picture. I don't know. You've got, what do you have showing? You have the
I have the side that shows the porch and the driveway. It's the kind of the long view all the way back from the front.
None of them showing on my screen yet. So
Mine either. Yeah,
No.
all I see is the little icon.
Let's try again. So give me a moment. What I'm going to do is then drop out of the icons, and go strictly to the pictures. See if I can do it that way. All right. Hold on. Here we go again. Back to full zoom, share screen. Share. Everybody see that?
yes.
Yes.
So to the left portion of the front porch, where the hostas are, like around the corner, right in there. So that has just under a 24-inch rise. And so the initial description I had submitted suggested we put in a 3-foot ramp heading towards the driveway. But after measuring it again, 3 feet, we're not gonna get around that group of windows in the back that bump out. There's 3 windows there, yeah. And so we've decided to change that from a 3-foot to a 4-foot ramp, 36 inches wide. The ramp that we are looking at is modular, and it's made out of aluminum. It satisfies the need for this to be temporary. So it would come out that 4 feet, and then it would be attached to a 5x5 platform. And that is a American with Disabilities Act requirement that if you have a 90-degree turn, you need at least 5x5 feet. So that's what would be coming out next. That's going to come 2 feet from the driveway. So there's a total, I think, of 11 feet there. So that's going to use up 9 feet. And then from there, go all the way back, and you'll see a bit of a sidewalk way at the end. And that goes up to that group of stone steps that I talked about, which is our side entrance. And it's really the entrance we use most today. And so the plan would be to put in a 30-foot stretch just going along the length of that portion of the house to the side porch or sidewalk. That's 10 feet longer than ADA requires. But if I did it shorter and did it, you know, a 20-foot length, it's going to end up in the grass. And then I got to figure out how to get him from the grass to the driveway, or, you know, putting in pavers or something like that. And so I just thought it made the most sense to go ahead and just extend it that extra 10 feet. The incline won't be as steep, easier for me to push, and I don't have to recreate a lower platform. They can just connect to the steps at the bottom.
So you'll come out from, it'll come out level from the porch, reach almost to the driveway here where the platform will be.
Yeah.
Right. And then it'll extend to the back.
Yeah, and it comes out from the porch and it starts to, you know, it's a ramp for 4 feet. So it'll be a short incline.
All right, let me continue to share photos. All right, here's the other one. And so then after the 5x5 platform, it extends along the grass here to get you to a landing pad here.
Yeah. Those are the windows that we had to take into account. Right around the windows and this side of the railings there, that's where our oil tank input is, and a water faucet, an outdoor faucet. So I also need access to that, which I have with this design. So I'm open to questions.
Let me get the plan up.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right, so
a little handwritten sketch. So upper left there, I just point out that's where the front porch is. On the very left is the front door. So I don't show the full front porch. There's a couple of pillars on the porch that I just have little squares, and I point out that there's a 24-inch rise at that end. And then I show the 4-foot by 3-foot ramp coming out to the 5 by 5-foot platform, and then extending down all the way to the sidewalk area that connects directly to the driveway. I show where the windows are and how 3 feet weren't going to make it. The 3-foot ramp up above wasn't going to be big enough. And the steps to the side porch. And then on the far right is the driveway.
Should have been an architect, Bev.
my family told me I was overdoing it, but
no, this shows good. It shows us exactly what we need to know. A question thing that's not potentially not on there, it's hard to, I'm not sure, is there side rail, any
oh
kind
yes of, did I show you, did I send you a picture from the manufacturer, the order? I thought I sent.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
possibly. Did you send it? Did you send it to my regular email?
Oh boy.
Let me search. It may have come. If so, I can try and.
It was an example of what it looks like. But you know, it's not the same configuration as what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh wow. Well, let me see what I can come up with here.
But you can just, I mean,
yeah. What I had initially hoped for a style that had pickets, but that was just going to be, you know, kind of expensive for us. So it has, it's a double rail. As I look for stuff starts coming in.
Okay, so it's both. So there's a rail along both sides.
Yes.
Is it open or does it have slats or?
It's open. It's 2 rails on each side.
So two rails that are parallel to the ramp?
Yes, and parallel to each other, yes.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that type of handrail system.
So it looks, I don't know if you can
all
see.
Right. I have it on my phone. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this at all.
No.
No.
Can you enlarge your photo or tell me, maybe I can pull it up and save it.
Let me try it again. Is that?
Yes, that's good. I can see it. Let me get out. Let me stop the share and see if that's helpful. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's all right.
Okay. Yep. And when you're looking at it, Bev, is there like a guardrail, you know, a lip on along the bottom? There's often a raised section.
I don't think that comes with this, or it may be in addition to what we had been looking at. I'm looking at you know, if I look at the very bottom of this one, it sort of has that. Right.
I think that's required. So I'm sure it
Okay.
comes with the kit.
Okay.
Usually often there's some kind of a, you know, 4 to 6 inch
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
piece, edge piece. And I just wonder if it's got that.
If it doesn't, I'll make sure we get it. If it has to be there, I'll make sure we get it.
It's all has to do with ADA compliance. So I don't really. So that would be the big thing, if it's ADA compliant. So let's say that the approval is tentatively for, the approval should include an edge, I guess you call it, what do you call it, Stan, an edging? Edging on the ramp?
Yeah, if required by ADA.
Yeah. Call it a foot guard or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to make sure no one slips off the ramp, right? I mean,
It's
Pardon
a toe
would
kick.
just be there to protect
Toe
kick.
someone wouldn't fall
Yeah.
off.
Call it a toe kick. Thanks, Toby.
Toe kick, okay.
Okay, and it may automatically come with that. I don't recall seeing that as a piece to this modular design that we're looking at. But I will call, you know, the company and ask about it.
Bev, is the company assembling it? Are you?
No, I have a few wonderful volunteers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My stepdaughter has contributed significantly to the purchase of this. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
we're very fortunate.
Good.
That's just going to sit on the ground, right?
Yes. Well, I was talking to the building inspector, so I'm going to be compliant with whatever he requires. So we'll work with him on that.
So
But it's not going to
potential,
be buried posts in the ground or anything.
No, he just doesn't want it sitting right on the grass. So the grass
I think he's happy with little patio blocks.
Okay. Yeah.
okay. And where will those, so where are those probably going to, the patio blocks probably going to be?
Under each leg of it. So I don't know how far apart each one of those are, but the way it, you know, the way it comes, it's got these supports along the length of it. I don't know how many feet apart they are. So I don't know how many are going to be included in this particular design. So for example, all 5 on the 5x5, each corner, I assume will have one. And then how many for the length, I'm not sure. If I, you know, again, if we look at this, I think that every, well, I'm not sure. There's,
I think the sections are 6 feet.
6 feet. So in between each one of those, or at the end and beginning of each one, is likely.
Okay. All right. Commission members, do you have any other questions for Bev on this?
No.
No.
I don't either.
I don't.
And since we have 2 members of the public, are there any questions or comments regarding this from members of the public? Yes, Toby.
Just an observation that the ADA is not applicable to residential installations. It serves as guidance,
Okay.
but compliance with the ADA is purely voluntary. We researched that for building a ramp at our house.
Okay.
Very good to know. Thank you.
Well, there's certainly good guidelines to use there.
So
Yes.
I think he should continue.
All right, if there are no additional comments, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
I
I
make a
will so
motion.
move.
Plus,
Okay,
I'll second.
Karen, Stan, so Earl, that's Stan
Yep, Stan and
motioning.
Karen, yep.
And Karen, yep. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining? All right, commission members, discussion?
No, I think it makes perfect sense for health reasons to do this. And I have no problem with it.
Absolutely. And the guardrails for safety, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a temporary structure. Nothing's being put in the ground, so
Right.
I have no issue with it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention as well. It's temporary and it's for health reasons, so no problems. All right,
Right.
then I'll take a motion to approve the application as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Nope, so all set, Bev?
Okay, thank you. I'll sit in and listen for some of the meeting going on.
Okay, all right. I will, and I'll fill out the form and get it to you and drop it off at your house on your porch. Thank you. All right, let's see if I can now get let me close out some of these photos here for just a second. And give me a moment, folks. Let me just close a couple of things out, clean off the desktop here. Come back to full and the agenda. All right. Oops, lost it. Having trouble. There we go. All right, next up is review of minutes of the June 22nd meeting. If everybody's had a chance to look them over, I will take a motion to approve.
I so move to approve the minutes from last month.
Thank you, Karen. Is there a second?
Second it.
All right, and Stan seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carried. Correspondence. I have I've corresponded with 599 Route 169. An email to them at the beginning of the month to remind them of the items in which they are in violation, and to request that they submit an application with the deadline of, I think it was the 15th, so that I could notice it and it could be taken care of at this meeting. I heard back, the reply was merely that they're working on the rain garden and that they felt they already had a certificate. My second email explained that no, in fact, there were items that were not approved, as well as items in violation and work that had been done without approval, and that they needed to submit the application. And then I didn't hear anything further. I have been in contact with Brad Scheid and Mike Fiorino, who are the circuit riders for Preservation Connecticut. They are the overseeing body that helps administer the individual historic districts and provides the resource for us. So I've been emailing back and forth all week regarding issues of regarding 599 and issues of working with and issues of non-compliance and violation, and working with planning and zoning. And then I sent, when in regards to the planning and zoning public hearing for 599 Route 169. I sent a letter as well as an accompanying document. And I think I copied all of you on it.
Yes.
That was a comment regarding the current status of 599 and its violations. And as you saw, a statement that says that we're not able to, that any applications that come before us that are other than what's in violation, we aren't able to address at this time until they're back until they're in compliance. Okay. So I think that covers my correspondence. Public comment. So anybody has public, either Bev or Jean or Toby has anything in which they'd like to comment? Nope. All right. No project consultations. Brings us to old business, and first up is the non-compliance issues. In addition to 599, we also have the issue of the house that is across from the Historical Society with the large pool whose plantings keep dying. So we need to connect with them to once again remind them to replant something that will be a little sturdier to screen that above ground pool.
Do you know the address of that one?
Not off the top of my head. I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And then I have been in touch with both the Academy and the church about the plantings along the north side of the parking lot. And there seems to be a question, there is a question about who actually is responsible for that. So that's being worked on to try and determine which of the two entities really is responsible for the plantings. So those are the three outstanding non-compliance issues. And really what we're talking about with 599 are issues of violation. And so I'd like to take a little bit of time. Let me go back to full screen here. Take a little bit of time and discuss with everyone about what we'd like to do. I think that I'll just start by saying that I believe that we've been more than accommodating and flexible in giving them plenty of time to come into compliance, to address those issues. We've sent them any number of friendly reminders and requests that have been ignored.
They must think this is just, cost of doing business, and they're just going to ignore us. I mean, it seems like.
I think that I will say that I think based on what I heard them say at the planning and zoning public hearing, which I attended, and also their remark to me that they had a certificate of compliance. I think that despite all of our explanations, and in spite of planning and zoning's explanations, they feel that they've got all the requirements, all the approvals that they need. I don't think that, and whether that's a deliberate decision, or I'm not sure, but they don't appear to be willing to take the next steps to resolving the issue. And based on some comments they made at planning and zoning, I don't think they feel that. I think you're right, Earl. They don't feel they have to.
Yeah.
And so realistically, the next step, which we've never had to do before, is really to make this an official enforcement issue. Now, the town doesn't have a zoning enforcement officer at the moment, but it would be the building official who would act as our enforcement officer. So the next step would be to contact the building official, explain the violations, and then request that he communicate with the Beausoleils in an official capacity that they are in violation.
Okay.
So
I think we should go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from the rest of you about what you think.
I think we should go ahead and ask, I mean, does the building official have discretion? I mean, can he say, well, I don't really want to do that? Or, I mean, is that
no, in this case, we request that he does this, and he acts as the enforcement officer for us.
All right. Well, I think we should ask him to do it then. I mean, the violations are pretty straightforward, and they're not that difficult to remedy if someone can wake them up and, you know, make them see that they actually have to do it.
Right.
Yeah, we're not talking a couple of months here. We're talking a year or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's been forever, right?
I think it's been what, 2 years?
Since
2020.
September 2020.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they think there's any really legal recourse that we would actually have.
Right.
You know, yes, it doesn't, they should hide the pool if they can and try to grow trees. I've noticed they started something, it's not taking well, whatever they did.
Hold on, Karen. Are you talking about the people with a pool or 599?
I'm talking about 599 right now.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I think, you know, they made the attempt. Obviously, it wasn't the right attempt or a good corrective attempt. So I just don't, I think they've said, well, they've tried, it's not growing. And I think maybe they don't realize the seriousness of it. If there is a seriousness, I don't know if there is really.
Yes, they are in violation, and they have what the work that they did on the porch is in fact potentially destroying the historic fabric of the house. So the way and they have not done any landscaping yet. They stated that at the planning and zoning meeting that they said COVID had gotten in the way of finding people who would do the work, and then they couldn't find people, and so they don't really have a plan. They haven't gotten going on any kind of landscaping, but not the rain garden and not the screening plantings that are supposed to go around the ramps. But in terms of what the hierarchy is, if they continue in violation, they can be, it can move up in terms of up in legal, and then the town attorney and a court gets involved, and the court can decide to fine them for every day that they continue in violation. They can also be made to take everything out that is in violation at their own expense and return it back to its
original.
Well, back to the better way to say is back to the condition before they did any changes, and that would be at their own expense as well.
I just don't think they really realize the severity of possibilities, I guess, of what the consequences could be. And I know people have attempted. I know Pat has gone over there and tried to talk to them also. I don't think they're taking it seriously.
Right. So do you feel, are you then in agreement that we should get the building official to take an official stance then with them?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when they want to make other additions to, they're petitioning for more changes. And I think they have to make good on the original.
What is planning and zoning's opinion on all this? Do they have one?
No, because planning and zone, well, you know, we are two different entities, and the Historic District Commission just deals with the character defining features, both of buildings and landscapes of the district, while planning and zoning deals with zoning issues. And so nothing that I don't believe that anything they have done or not done currently violates anything that was passed and approved for planning and zoning. Right.
Okay.
And that's the planning and zoning piece. Planning and zoning has no comment on what happens in historic district. Historic district cannot influence, that's not the right word. Historic district cannot opinions and don't have anything to do with whether or not a place can be zoned commercial, for example. So it's planning and zoning is trying to decide whether or not to allow the expansion of retail business into the barn. That's nothing to do with historic district.
So none of their decisions are based on whether or not the property is in compliance with historic district.
Correct.
It's kind of an odd setup, isn't it?
However, the project cannot, and I've just gotten this I've just had this confirmed by Brad Scheid. However, if we do not approve the, if we do not approve something that planning and zoning approves, the project cannot go forward. So if planning and zoning approves the building of a garage on somebody's property because they have no reason not to, it meets all the zoning requirements, and that property is within the historic district, but the commission feels that that would seriously detract from the character of the district, and we deny that application, then according to Brad, that project cannot go through because it's been denied in the district.
But we're responsible to enforce that because planning and zoning isn't offended by it. So it would be on us to enforce it through the building official.
Right. Okay. So if they built it, then we would have to then enforce it. Yes. Okay. And well, it's up to the town. And then, I mean, once the building official, or if there's a zoning enforcement official acts, and then the next step would be to go to court and the town would legally then enforce it.
Is that also the building official that would get the attorney to do it?
I think well, no, it wouldn't be the building official. I think that would come out of the selectman's office. Okay.
All right. So it's above and beyond us at that point.
Well, we would not contact the attorney, but certainly we would request, along with the building official would request from the selectman that we need the next step of legal action, regardless of what property it is.
Okay. Let's see if a letter from the building official will move them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I will contact him tomorrow or Monday at the latest, or depending on what his schedule is when I can connect him, but within the next few days, and start that rolling.
Okay.
And then for the other two, I believe that I think we can. We still have. I think that we can with a little bit of work, we can get the matter of the landscaping around the pool taken care of. And I also think that eventually the church and the school and the academy will figure out which one of them is going to foot the bill for more plantings and take care of that.
Yeah, I don't see that those
I
are
agree.
Look,
Right.
you know, we haven't worked with them that long on those issues. So
Yeah, and yes, and they both seemed willing to. It's just a matter of trying to figure it out.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So that's the current state of non-compliance issues.
okay.
All right. Then the other continuing old business is to find new commission members. And we are losing Karen.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
As of the middle of August. She has tendered her resignation, and we'll take care of that in new business. And Harold is also going off. So we are short-staffed. And so Toby is here observing, and he is a potential recruit. And so we are now even more urgently than ever looking for additional members. And I think we'd particularly like to get at least one more resident of the district involved. And so everybody give some thought to who else might be a good candidate to bring us back to really good operating numbers. And then we also have the connecting with residents. There are houses turning over quite rapidly within the district. Now we've got Karen's house, and then next door is what Marilyn Pomeroy's old house is now turning over again.
Yes, it is. I just noticed it's pending.
And
So
there are now so many different real estate agencies that I don't think that there's any way for us to keep up with and connect with all of them to make sure that they know that they're within the historic, their property is within the historic district. We can try the phone call when we see a sign go up, but people are just going to forget.
Honestly, Gail, I think it would really be helpful for the new owners to get a understanding of what it is. And I think an historic you or somebody on the commission should drop off some information packet. Just let them know who you are. We're here to keep it beautiful, not be antagonistic at all, or being helpful. And I just think that would be a neighborly thing to do. And I think it's kind of cool. They say, oh, I'm moving to the, the hill area. Wonderful. But there's responsibilities. And I think people have to understand that.
So the real estate agent is supposed to inform.
Yeah, but I still think it would be helpful.
It is. And then on top of that, when the town clerk is supposed to also provide that, and the owners, the buyers, when they sign their contract, that is a part of your contract, your sale contract when you purchase the house, that says you acknowledge that you're moving into a historic district. Where we have the problem is figuring out who those people are. This is no longer the time of the welcome wagon. We have the real problem is trying to find not only who they are, but in the age of now cell phones, instead of just a regular phone number that shows up in your phone book, trying to figure out how to connect with the people so that you're not just, showing up on the doorstep as, some random person knocking on the door. And people work. So they're so often when we've tried to do something like this in the past, more often than not, we've just never managed to get a time where we've connected when the person's there, when we're knocking on the door. That's why we went to that fall walk through the district with all of our material, and we dropped everybody who answered the door. We dropped something off to them. because trying to intercept busy people with busy lives when you don't even know who they are proved to be just, you know, was not successful. So the big nut we have to crack is, how do we make those initial connections without randomly just knocking on a door and saying hi? We used to rely on the real estate agent to just at least help make them aware. But
how many properties are there in the historic district?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
I mean, is it 100 or 500 or
60?
60?
Perhaps.
Something like that, yeah.
What about a 1 or 2 page letter each year to the resident of?
We do. We've sent those.
We do, okay.
Yep. We send those out. And we can, and that's some people have mailboxes. Some people have post office boxes.
Right.
It's that connection. It's that initial connection that seems to be elusive. The way to do, we've had public meetings, we've had public programs to try and, you know, get to know the new people who've moved in. It's that, how do you make that initial connection that for years has been the big elusive piece for us. So anybody who has ideas on, because your idea of the packet, you know, everybody, when you move in, you should get the booklet or or a thumb drive or a link to the booklet that tells all about the properties within the district.
Yeah.
We used to give every new resident the book if they didn't have one handed down from the prior residents. And you got a couple of applications and you got a full page of instructions and you got a page that told everybody who was on the district and how to connect and everything.
Well, yeah, just for my house, I mean, I never got one ever, and I have nothing to pass on. So I would stop over after April 15th, and they would love to have it. I know they would.
We need to know the names of who's moving in. So that's an important piece. So before you leave, at least because you're part of the district.
I can pass it on to you. That's not an issue. Okay.
So if I know, then we've got, and you let them know that they will be hearing from us.
I will do that. That's not a problem.
That's good, because that's the kind of continuity we need, is at least that there's an alert to the new people moving in that, hey, you'll get a packet dropped off on your porch or something.
Yeah.
And
that'd be perfect.
Great. Excellent.
Shouldn't it be incumbent on the seller when they make out their disclosure thing, like, you know, bad well or whatever, that they put that in there? And then
you know what?
If they don't and the new buyer gets blindsided, then they should be able to go back to the seller. And
it is their stand, and it's in their contract. The town, as I said, the town clerk is supposed to remind them that they were within the historic district, but doesn't always.
People don't know what that means, though. Sometimes they buy the house, they just don't know what that entails, and I think most people would be very glad to comply.
And some real estate agents are excellent. They they will inform, they double check. I've been contacted a couple of times this year, this year already, about people representing houses and wanting to know, just wanting to confirm that the house is within the district, and if that's the case, then just just confirming what that means, so they can pass it on to their sellers. And that is the ideal situation where an introduction has been made. All right. Let's see. Anybody have any other old business to bring up?
Not me.
Okay. No, I don't.
New business then would be Karen's resignation from the commission. That would be effective, let's say August 20th. Karen, does that work for you?
That's fine. That's fine. Mm-hmm.
And then, so we reluctantly accept, but understandingly accept your resignation, and really thank you for serving so well on the commission and contributing to the success of our work. So we really appreciate it. And we will miss you.
Well, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to be back. I mean, I'm not as a full-time resident, but I'll be back here in the summers, where I don't know yet. So if anybody knows about any rentals this summer, I'm looking. Or I may buy something eventually. I don't know. But yeah, you'll still see us around. And I'm going to miss the place, I have to admit.
Well, we really
thanks, Karen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Thanks, Dan.
And then also Harold Bishop has submitted his resignation that was effective as of July 26th. And so we thank Harold for his years and years of dedication to the commission and to the historic district, and to working so hard to preserve and enhance the district.
What was the effective date for Harold?
July 26th.
26. Is he okay? Does anyone know?
No, he is not.
He's not. Okay. That's so sad.
That is.
Do we need to vote on these or?
No, we just accept them.
Okay.
All right. In other new business, we've been asked to do a special meeting. The people who are at, let's see, in the Monaghan's old house, which is just south of Bev, maybe 514, 169. It's the house, the colonial with the green shutters. Mm-hmm. And they would like to, their application will be for a small section of fencing that they've put in, a condenser for their air conditioner, and a larger fence that will duplicate the Chase's fence that they are anxious to get installed because they have young children and are very concerned about the road. Yeah. So, and they have a narrow window when they've got a contractor who's available to do that major fence construction. They're building it all out of hardwood. So they've got a tiny window. They want to have it in before Labor Day. So they've asked if we would do a public hearing. So the date I'm looking at is, I had thought we could do something earlier, then it turns out they have a conflict. So what about August 15th? Will that work for me? Works for Stan, works for Karen?
I can do it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can. I may be out of state.
Because we are now so few.
Yeah, but if Gail and Karen and Stan can do it, that's a quorum.
It is.
So, I mean, I'll see, but I think I'm going to be away.
All right, I'll have to check with. I'll see if I can't make sure Pat is part of this as well.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're going to look at. I'm going to try for August 15th on that.
Okay.
I appreciate those of you who think you can make it. And Earl, if you manage, even if there's a phone Zoom connection you can do for just the short, it's going to be short for the public, then that would be great.
Okay. I might even just be able to call you and be on speaker or something.
Yes, you could. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about it then.
Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any other new business to add?
Negative.
No, I just wanted to add that I don't know the people's name who live in the Monaghan's old house, but their parents are buying our house.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So they're very excited to be in the district. So it's good.
And their name is, the Monaghan's house, their name is, it's Jonathan Honig.
Honig, that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
And this is Jen is the daughter, and it's her mother and father who are coming in.
Great.
So they're really nice people. So
Excellent.
Well, they should know they're in the district.
they will know they're in the
Parents.
district. Yes, they do. Yes.
Good. Excellent. Well, then, saying that we'll look for a motion to adjourn. Really, Karen, thank you for your hard work. And,
Oh, thank
and
you.
your
It's been a
enthusiastic-
pleasure.
And your enthusiastic participation. So,
Well, it's a pleasure and an education, I have to admit. And maybe I'm just going to do something where I move to do the same sort of thing. It's good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
I'll second.
yeah, final act, you'll second. Very good.
I'll
All in
second. Here's
favor?
my final act.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed, abstaining, we are adjourned. And again, thank you, Karen, very much. And we'll see you on the 15th for your final.
I will be there, whether I'm in driving or whatever. I will be hooked up there. Okay,
Excellent.
great.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
take care.
Everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks.
Good night,
Nice to
everyone.
meet you. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Bye, Tony.